Now, the only independent news talk network in the Middle East, Israel National Radio, and IsraelNationalRadio.com present The Tamar Yonah Show. Here's Tamar Yonah.
We have a new administration that's taken office in Washington, in the White House, and it doesn't seem to bode well for the American people or for the allies of the American people right here in the Middle East, and I'm talking specifically about Israel. You're listening to the Tamar Yonah Show here, broadcasting out of Bet El, just north of Jerusalem, D.C., Jerusalem, David's capital, King David's capital. Happy to be here with you. Our guest today, Dr. Jerome Corsi. He's the author of the book, The Obama Nation and the Late Great USA, and other books as well. And you can go to his website at www.redalert.wnd.com. The Red Alert is a weekly global financial strategies newsletter. He has articles there that will be of interest to people who are worried about economic trends in America and around the world today and how they can safeguard everything that they've worked for their whole life, and get some other interesting ahead of news there. And he's here answering our questions about the mysterious past that just seems to be covered up by Barack Hussein Obama, which could be easily put all these conspiracy theories or worries to rest just by showing his original birth certificate or other documents that the American people need in order to regain their trust in this new administration. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Jerome Corsi.
Thank you, Tamar. Great to be with you.
All right. And again, if you have any questions, 1-800-270-4288. I have a lot of questions, but let's go to a caller first. We have joining us from California, we have Medina. Welcome to the show, Medina. What's your comment or question for Dr. Jerome Corsi?
Can you hear me?
We hear you fine.
Okay, and thank you so much, Ms. Yonah and Dr. Corsi. I have a short question for the good doctor. If you could please, Dr. Corsi, elaborate on this certificate of birth that has been posted on the Internet by the Obama administration, the Annenberg Foundation, and why the certificate of birth rather than the actual birth certificate. I would really appreciate that, and I thank you kindly for your bravery and also your great show. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you. Dr. Corsi.
Well, what's been posted by the Hawaii Health Department on Barack Obama's website is a certificate of live birth. It's a very short, typed-out document. We show a copy of it in the Whistleblower magazine at WorldNet Daily this month. And then below that, we show what the original birth certificate would look like. It's much more of a long form. The long form has a lot of information that is not on the certificate of live birth. Hospital, for instance, where the baby is born, the doctor that attended the birth, the weight of the baby, all of the birth information, parents, etc. And the Department of Health in Hawaii refuses, because of the privacy laws, to release the background documentation they have that supports this short form recent document that has been produced on the website. The problem is that in 1961, when Barack Obama was born, Hawaii was only 2 years a state, and Hawaii was making an effort to get Hawaiians to register their citizenship in Hawaii. So a lot of different kinds of documents, and often even verbal testimony, was accepted to issue this kind of certificate of live birth, when a certificate of live birth, the original birth certificate, wasn't available or couldn't be found or never was issued in the first place. So it's unclear what the department in Hawaii has, and the Department of Hawaii says that all these records are sealed unless Barack Obama authorizes them to be released, and Barack Obama has so far steadfastly refused to allow any of the original documents to be seen.
All right, and so I'm just trying to understand here, but even in 1961, I mean, in the 1920s, when you were born, birth certificates were given out. Perhaps
absolutely.
Okay, so in 1961, he still would have had a real birth certificate, correct?
If he was born in Hawaii, and that's what we show at the Whistleblower, we show what a birth certificate in the 1960s looked like, an original issued in Hawaii, We show a sample of one with the information, some of the information blacked out, but you can see the original long-form birth certificate from the 1960s. It would have been issued by the hospital. It would have told the doctor, the baby's weight, all the information about the birth, and that's the document, the original birth certificate that Barack Obama refuses to show.
All right. So what we're really seeing here is the onus is on the present president of the United States and not the people who are accusing him of taking this office illegally. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very easy issue to go away. All Barack Obama has to do is give his approval and let the original birth certificate as well as his other school documents be seen. And then there's no longer any controversy. But if Barack Obama does not let these documents be seen, the controversy is going to continue. And so far, Barack Obama's been spending millions of dollars with attorneys to fight these lawsuits and to keep the original documents hidden.
Well, so we see a whole new relationship between America and its people, and I should say the United States government and the people. We see a lack of respect to the American people by dissing them, in that there's a whole discrepancy whether Barack Obama is entitled and fits the criteria of being eligible to be the President of the United States. And it would be easily cleared up, the whole news story, the whole doubts, the whole quote-unquote conspiracy theorists, where was he born? All he has to do is produce a birth certificate, and he doesn't want to do that. So why don't you take it from there? Tell us what's going on with this new administration and its relationship to the people.
Well, the problem with Barack Obama's birth certificate, Tamar, is that we've been pressing at WorldNet Daily. There have been millions of people in the United States. Barack Obama has refused to release his original birth certificate, which is the birth certificate that, a very mundane document that lists the hospital where a person's born, the doctor, the time of birth, the weight of the baby, the parents. The campaign during the presidential campaign in 2008 and still today, while Barack Obama is president, have refused to let the American people see this document and many other documents about Obama's past. When I was researching the Obama Nation, the book I wrote, New York Times #1 New York Times bestseller during the campaign, I was in Kenya, and I obtained the affidavit of Obama's grandmother, and she swears that she was present at Obama's birth in Kenya, in Mombasa, in Kenya. And this is a controversy in the United States because the Constitution requires that a person who is president be a naturally born citizen of the United States. And Barack Obama's father was Kenyan,